Welcome to Relation Tales. Please like this video and subscribe Relation Tales that we're grateful for each and every one of you. Let us know where in the world you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let's begin. I never saw myself as the kind of man who'd be played. I wasn't weak, I wasn't naive, and I certainly wasn't the type to turn a blind eye when something felt off. But life has a way of testing a man, pushing him to the brink, daring him to either break or burn everything down. Her name was Olivia. Blonde, long legs, the kind of curves that made men reconsider their priorities. She had a way of looking at me like I was the only man in the world, like she breathed me in, like she needed me. Maybe that's why I let my guard down. Maybe that's why I let her in when I should have known better. We met 5 years ago in a dimly lit bar. She was sipping something expensive, pretending not to notice the men around her. Men who wanted her. Men who thought they had a chance. But when I walked by, her eyes locked onto mine. A challenge. A dare. And like a fool, I took it. The chemistry was instant. A whirlwind. We got married in Vegas, drunk on whiskey and the illusion of love. But I wasn't some broke fool. I had built something. A business, a life, security. I made sure she never had to worry about anything. For a while, she played the part perfectly. The loyal, insatiable wife. The perfect partner. But some women aren't meant to be satisfied. Some women will take everything you give and still crave more. And Olivia was one of them. The changes were subtle at first. Late nights out with her friends. A new gym membership, despite never stepping foot in a gym before. Her phone, always face down on the table, always locked. I saw the signs. I wasn't stupid. And yet, I waited. I wanted to see just how far she'd take it. One night, over dinner, she twirled her wine glass, her lips curling into a smirk. The same smirk that had hooked me 5 years ago. "I need to tell you something," she said, her voice smooth, almost amused. I leaned back. "Go ahead." She set the glass down. "I've been seeing someone else. For a while. No hesitation. No shame. Just cold, brutal honesty." I exhaled slowly, watching her. She tilted her head like she expected anger. Maybe even a fight. Maybe she wanted one. I gave her nothing. Instead, I smiled. A slow, easy smile that made her pause. "All right," I said. She blinked. Confusion flickered across her face. "That's it. If that's what you want." I shrugged. She went to bed that night thinking she'd won. Thinking she'd played me. She had no idea what was coming. That night, I didn't sleep. Instead, I set everything in motion. By the time she walked into the house the next evening, it was empty. Completely empty. Not just my things, everything. The furniture, the electronics, the cash from the safe, even the food in the fridge. Gone. She called me, screaming, demanding answers. I let it go to voicemail. Then came the texts, the threats, the begging. I ignored every single one. She stormed into my office the next day, hands slamming on my desk, eyes wild with rage. "What the hell did you do?" I leaned back in my chair. Calm. Collected. "Exactly what you wanted, sweetheart." "You took my son," she screamed. I smirked. "Our son. And I'm the only one acting like a parent." She lunged at me then, nails like claws. I caught her wrists with ease, twisting them just enough to make her wince. I didn't hit her. I didn't need to. But I let her feel how much control she had just lost. Olivia wasn't just reckless. She was dangerous. A woman like her didn't accept defeat. She didn't take losses like a normal person. She adapted. She manipulated. She retaliated. The moment she realized she had underestimated me, that I had stripped her of everything she thought she controlled, she struck back. And she made it nuclear. The first hit came fast. Too fast. I was in my office, reviewing legal documents for my custody case when my lawyer called. His voice was tight, cautious. "Your accounts," he said. "They've been frozen." I gripped the phone. "What do you mean, all of them?" "Every single one." I exhaled through my nose, my mind racing. I had locked Olivia out of my finances before I walked away. I made sure she didn't have a single cent to her name. But somehow, she found a way to fight back. Turns out, she had been planning this for a long time. Long before she ever told me about the other men. While I was running my business, making sure she never had to lift a damn finger, she was laying the groundwork for my downfall. Fake accusations. Lies. A carefully crafted story about financial abuse. Emotional control. And worst of all, that I was a danger to my own son. I laughed when I first heard it, a bitter, disbelieving laugh. She can't win this, I said, my jaw tight. It's all lies. My lawyer didn't laugh. She doesn't need to win, Alex. She just needs to drag this out long enough to ruin you. And that's exactly what she did. The next hit came even harder. My business. The company I built from the ground up. Under investigation. False claims. Lawsuits. Clients pulling out. My name, my reputation, dragged through the mud by the woman I once called my wife. My own employees started looking at me differently. Even the ones who had been with me for years. That's when I realized how deep Olivia's manipulation went. She had help. Not just from any man. No, that would have been too easy. She went for someone close. Someone I trusted. Mark. My best friend. The man I call my brother. The man who sat at my table, drank my whiskey, held my son, and fucked my wife behind my back. But it wasn't just about the cheating anymore. This was war. And if Olivia thought she had won, she had no idea what was coming. I was losing everything. My business. My money. My name. But the part that made my blood boil hotter than hell itself? She was coming for my son. Olivia wasn't satisfied with taking my money. My reputation. No, she wanted to take James. She wanted to rip the last piece of my soul out and watch me bleed. And she wasn't doing it alone. She had Mark. That backstabbing, two-faced bastard. The court papers hit me like a freight train. Petition for full custody. Olivia and Mark standing together, claiming I was unfit, that I was a violent man, that I had a history of aggression. And they had evidence. Fabricated police reports. Witness statements from people I didn't even know. Photos of bruises on Olivia's arms. Bruises she probably gave herself just to make it look real. And Mark, that son of a bitch. He had the audacity to say he had been a father figure to James. That he was better suited to raise my son. I saw red. I didn't just want revenge. I want annihilation. I knew one thing. If I played by the rules, I would lose. Olivia had the courts. She had the lies. She had Mark. So, I didn't play by the rules. I played by my rules. The first move was Mark. It was too easy. Mark had gotten comfortable. He thought I was too busy fighting legal battles to come after him. He still worked out at the same gym. Still walked around like a king. Like he hadn't just betrayed the only real friend he ever had. That night, when he walked into the parking lot alone, I was waiting. I let him see me first. Let him register what was about to happen. The way his face drained of color. That was my first one of the night. Hey man, he stammered, holding up his hands. Listen, I hit him before he could finish. One punch. Hard. Straight to the jaw. His skull cracked against the pavement. He went down like a sack of bricks. He tried to crawl away. I wasn't finished. I grabbed him by the hair, forced him to look at me. You think you can take my son? My voice was calm, controlled. You think you can fuck my wife and walk away like nothing happened? Blood ran from his nose, dripping onto the asphalt. I leaned in closer. You're going to drop that custody case. His swollen lips trembled. I can't. Olivia. I grabbed his throat. Not tight enough to choke, just tight enough to remind him who the fuck I was. You're going to drop that case. And then you're going to disappear. Because if I see you again, Mark, I won't stop at a fucking broken jaw. I let go. He coughed, gasped, scrambled to his feet like a wounded rat. You're a psycho, he spat. I just smiled. You have no idea. He ran. And just like that, my best friend, the man who thought he could steal my family, became a ghost. One down. One to go. Mark was gone. That was the easy part. But Olivia, she was a different beast altogether. She didn't fear me. She underestimated me. She thought she was untouchable. Thought she could lie, cheat, manipulate, and walk away unscathed. She thought the courts would hand her my son. She thought she could erase me. She was wrong. So damn wrong. I needed proof. Cold. Hard. Undeniable proof. So, I did what Olivia never expected. I hired a private investigator. Not just any guy, the best. He had one job. Dig up every dirty little secret Olivia had ever buried. And holy shit, did he deliver. I found out Olivia had been planning this for years. She had been funneling money out of my accounts long before I left. She had multiple affairs, not just with Mark, but with several men. She had doctored financial records to make it look like I was controlling her. And the worst part, she had done this before. Before she met me, there was another man. A rich guy. Older. Powerful. She had ruined his life, too. Filed a fake abuse claim. Took his money. destroyed his reputation, left him with nothing. And now, she was trying to do the same thing to me. But this time, she picked the wrong man. I didn't go to court. Not yet. I went public. I released everything. Photos, text messages, bank records, everything Olivia had ever done. I sent it to her job, her family, her friends, the court, every single person she had manipulated, lied to, and used. And then, I watched her world burn. Her job fired her within 24 hours. Her parents disowned her. Her so-called friends stopped returning her calls. Her lawyer quit. Because suddenly, Olivia wasn't the victim. She was the villain. She called me, sobbing, begging. I let go to voicemail. I wanted her to feel it. The isolation, the helplessness, the cold, empty silence of losing everything. Just like she tried to do to me. By the time we stood in front of a judge, Olivia was already ruined. She looked weak, desperate. She tried to cry, tried to make herself look fragile, tried to sell the lie one last time. It didn't work. Her fake reports, exposed. Her bruises, proven self-inflicted. Her witnesses, all backed out. And Mark, nowhere to be found. When the judge read the ruling, I didn't even flinch. Full custody, sole parental rights. Olivia was stripped of everything. Her lies had finally buried her. She sat there, shaking, lips trembling. Tears spilled down her cheeks, but I didn't feel a damn thing. Because Olivia wasn't my problem anymore. She was nothing. For weeks, I heard nothing. No texts, no threats, no begging. It was like Olivia had disappeared. And for a moment, I almost believed it was over. But then I got home late one night, and my front door was open. I stepped inside slow, careful. The house was dark, but I could smell something in the air. Perfume. Her perfume. My grip on the doorknob tightened. A shadow moved in the hallway. Then, her voice soft, almost pleading. I just wanted to see him. I exhaled through my nose, rolling my shoulders. James isn't here. Silence. Then she stepped into the dim light of the kitchen. She looked different. Gaunt. Makeup smeared. Hair tangled like she hadn't brushed it in days. This wasn't the Olivia I once knew. This was a woman on the edge. She clutched something in her hands. A folded piece of paper. I wrote him a letter, she said quietly. Just let him read it. I didn't move. Didn't take it. He doesn't need anything from you. She swallowed hard. Her lips trembled. For a second, I almost believed she was broken. Almost. But then she smiled. And I knew. This wasn't over. Olivia didn't break into my house just to give me a letter. She wanted to set me up. That's when I noticed it. The red blinking light. A hidden camera. My eyes flicked to the corner of the room, nestled between the cabinets. The lens glinted under the low light. I turned back to Olivia. She was watching me, waiting. She wanted me to react, to grab her, to shove her, to do anything that could be twisted into evidence. The final trap. I smiled. You should go, Olivia. Her smile faltered. What? I stepped closer. Not aggressive. Just enough to let her feel the shift in the air. You broke in here. Set up a camera. Thought you could bait me. I murmured, voice low. And the best part, you think I'm stupid enough to fall for it. Her breathing hitched. I leaned in, just enough for my words to scrape against her ear. You lost, sweetheart. Go home. Her whole body stiffened. I could feel the rage shaking through her. She wanted me to snap. She wanted a reaction so badly. I gave her nothing. She stumbled back, eyes wild, lips parted like she wanted to say something. Then, without another word, she turned and ran. The door slammed behind her. I waited, listened. Then I walked to the cabinet, plucked the hidden camera from its spot, and crushed it between my fingers. Olivia was finished. She just hadn't accepted it yet. Her plan to ruin me, dead. Her plan to take James, over. But I wasn't stupid enough to think she'd give up. A woman like Olivia doesn't fade quietly. So I waited, kept my guard up, had my lawyers watching hers, even hired private security to watch James at school, just in case. And then, a week later, she made her last move. It was 2 a.m. when my phone buzzed. A blocked number. I almost ignored it, but something in my gut told me to pick up. I answered. Yeah. A voice on the other end. Male. Flat. Official. Mr. Hayes, this is Detective Owens with the NYPD. We need you to come down to the station. My spine stiffened. What? A pause. Then, it's about Olivia. Something cold and heavy settled in my stomach. I grabbed my keys. I already knew this wasn't over. But I didn't expect her final move to be this desperate. The moment I walked into that police station, I felt it. The way the officers looked at me. The way the air shifted when I stepped inside. Like I was already guilty. I was led into a cold, sterile interrogation room. Two detectives sat across from me. They slid a folder across the table. Take a look. I flip it open. And for the first time in years, I felt rage so deep it burned my vision white. Inside the folder were photos of Olivia. Bruised, beaten, cuts along her arms, a split lip, all staged. But the accusation? Attempted murder. The detective leaned forward. She's claiming you broke into her apartment and attacked her. I exhaled slowly, my hands curling into fists. This was her final move. Her last desperate attempt to bury me. But she made one fatal mistake. She forgot about the security cameras in her own damn building. The moment my lawyer arrived, it was over. We pulled the building's security footage. The cops watched as Olivia walked into her apartment alone. No struggle. No forced entry. No sign of me anywhere. Just her. Hurting herself. Staging the entire thing. The detectives looked at each other. One of them sighed. Jesus Christ. They didn't even have to say it. They knew. Olivia wasn't the victim. She was the criminal. Checkmate. The next time I saw Olivia, she was in a courtroom. Wrists in cuffs. Her eyes? Hollow. Empty. She looked at me. Tried to speak. But she didn't. Because she knew. She had lost. The judge read the charges. False accusations. Breaking and entering. Attempted fraud. Her lawyer didn't even try to fight back. The evidence was too overwhelming. When the final ruling came down, I didn't flinch. Full custody. Permanent restraining order. Olivia stripped of parental rights. She sobbed, begged, screamed. I didn't even look at her. Because Olivia was nothing now. Just a bad memory. And I was finally free. After everything. The betrayal. The lies. The revenge. It was finally over. For the first time in years, I could breathe. I stood outside the courthouse. James ran up to me, wrapped his small arms around my waist. I held him tight. He looked up. Is she gone? I nodded. Yeah, buddy. She's gone. He smiled. And for the first time in a long, long time. So did I. Months passed. The scars faded. The anger cooled. Life moved on. One day, James asked me something. Dad, do you think people like Mom ever change? I thought about it. About Olivia. About Mark. About all the people who thought they could destroy me. And I said, no, son. Some people don't change. He was quiet for a moment. Then he nodded. I won't be like her. I ruffled his hair. I know, because in the end, that's what mattered. Not the revenge. Not the pain. But the lesson. And, as I watched my son grow into a man, a strong, loyal, good man, I knew one thing. I had already won.